Alright, everyone. Only the most faithful of viewers have stuck with us for the 2 rounds that ended after 20 minutes, and then it was just a bunch of us sitting around talking about modern cards. So, for you 20 folks, we appreciate your loyalty. For the rest of you, sit and spin. Yeah, that's always a good way to drive viewers, is to insult your... It works for
if you're watching...
Maybe insult comic. It works for Don Rickles. No one knows who Don Rickles is.
If you're watching, you aren't being invited to sit and spin, so you feel special.
Yeah, good point. So, more importantly, we are here at Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia, for a 5-round standard Friday Night Magic tournament. This is round 3. Currently, we are featuring 2 players who are undefeated tonight, 2-0. On the left is Max Turner. If you've watched our stream before and don't know Max Turner, then I question whether or not you've actually watched our stream before, because he's been on here a lot. He has featured in multiple Highlight of the Week videos. He was also the winner of our Star City Games Invitational Qualifier. He is playing tonight. All I could get out of him was that it's a really bad Enchantments deck. Obviously, it's not bad because he's 2-0.
I looked at it before
Max doesn't play bad decks.
The tournament started. He basically runs many enchantments, including Chronic Flooding and Oblivion Rings.
Mm-hmm.
So he also was running Psychic Spirals and Increasing Confusions.
Is it a mill deck?
So he has a mill strategy, as well as he's running 4 Invisible Stalkers and 4 of that 1 casting cost white enchantment.
Yeah, the buffs based on the number of enchantments you have.
So I think he's got 2 main strategies to win. Basically just dump a bunch of enchantments on the table and then either go all the way on an Invisible Stalker, which he appears to have on the table, is that correct?
Yeah, he does. Squaring off against Megan's Lotleth Troll. Megan is playing a basically Golgari good stuff deck. It has some aspects, the independently good parts of the zombie deck without the tribal parts. She's not playing Grave Crawlers. She's not playing Geralt's Messengers, but she is playing Dreg Mangler. She is playing the Lotleth Troll, which you see there. She's just playing a lot of really good green and black cards. So, more than anything, I simply hope that this game lasts for more than 15 minutes like the last one did.
I hope it lasts for 100 years.
100 years. See Azorius Charm. Time Walk, Megan there. Got to bring up the chat. So, in a surprise move, we see the Lotleth Troll that got Time Walk last time, and we see Max go deep on the Ethereal Armor plan. See, I'm afraid this one's going to end quick too, because not many decks can deal with Invisible Stalker. And now it's a 5/5 Invisible Stalker.
She's got Abrupt Decays, right? That would be more or less a blowout.
You can't target it.
Yeah. It's hexproof.
Oh, was it hexproof?
Yeah. Well, you can race it though. Goodness, this can be over in like 6 seconds too. So 6/6 Lotleth Troll gets in, or 6/5 Lotleth Troll, I should say.
I was thinking about the
You were thinking. That was your first mistake.
Blighted Agent.
Boom! Non-stop humor out of the Zaxxas Magic Broom Closet broadcast. What is that? He put Ethereal Armor on his... What is that thing? Do you know what that enchantment he just played on his land was?
That was it's a 3, I can't remember its name. It is a 3 casting cost enchantment from Return to Ravnica. It puts a 2/2 token into play, and you can then tap your land to prevent 1 damage to yourself.
Seems weird. Is there a cycle of... But now it's 1, 2, 3, 4... It's a 7, right?
Yeah. Return to Ravnica
Why does she not... Oh, she's a 5. Gosh. Every deck we see tonight, it's called Security Blockade. Is there a cycle of land enchantments?
Yeah.
Because there's Underworld Connections as well. While I'm familiar with Underworld Connections, I'm not as familiar with this card. Okay, so there's your Unulti Pro play, where she Abrupt Decays one of the enchantments. And pounds in for 1 billion, right? So chumps the 8/8, eats the 6/5, dropping him to 8. Maxx assured me that his deck was very slow, and then he, on turn 3, assembled a 5/5 Invisible Stalker. So Maxx not dead on board, as he will only take 6 next turn unless Megan discards her entire hand to the... Another blockade? Well, I'm wondering where this deck came from. Why didn't Maxx choose to play this deck? Because he was playing a pretty sweet junk deck for a while.
Oh, I do know exactly where it came from because he told me. He built it before the tournament while he was eating McDonald's.
Yeah. That's where the most of the great, what is this? Oh, Revenge of the Hunted? Does that give trample? That wins the game, right? Well, yeah. 5 minutes. Game 1 took 5 minutes.
Wow.
Revenge of the Hunted, not even miracled. Just,
I think the chat is right that these land enchantments in Return of Ravnica are not technically a cycle, but there are many of them.
Okay. I was only familiar with the Underworld connections. I will admit, I have not drafted this format. Mostly because the weekend of the release, I was sick as a dog. And then also because we just don't draft that much here, which is something we're trying to change. And if you are a local player and have not gone to our Facebook page and participated in the survey regarding draft as a format, trying to pass on that information back to the management here, feel free to do so. More importantly, regardless of who you are and regardless of where you are, feel free to check out our Facebook page as well as our many other forms of social media. Boom. YouTube. So you go to YouTube, you search for Zach Sells Magic, or you go to youtube.com/user/ZachSellsMagic. Why the user is there, I don't know.
The user is unnecessary. You can just go to youtube.com/ZachSellsMagic.
I don't think it works. I think you have to be like an approved partner or something.
No.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
You're incorrect in that regard.
If you just search for it, I guarantee you'll find it. Go there. Everything that we've ever recorded is slightly edited and placed on there for archival purposes, so you can watch. And to be quite honest, there's a lot of good content on there. The Star City Invitational Qualifier was a lot of top-tier Magic. West Virginia States, all 7 rounds of the top 8 of that. That was a very good tournament. So if you like Standard, go back and check that out. Q Draft on there. There's there's Return to Ravnica Draft on there as well. Twitter, @ZachSellsMagic. Follow me. Like I said, last round, we're giving away a playset of cards every week, so you can go in there and get it. And more importantly, if you want to do anything to support this, literally the most important thing you can do is go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic, and like the page, participate in some of our discussions, or check out some of the videos or links that we post there. You like it, you participate there, it shows up in your timeline, your friends see it, your Magic playing friends might check it out. That's the best way to spiderweb this thing.
But yeah, youtube.com/ZachSellsMagic is...
It works?
Yeah.
I stand corrected. I think it just, like when I signed up for that account, it just suggested, or it just said you could go there, and I just assumed that was it.
Yeah.
I assumed you had to put it in there. Nice. You learn something new every day.
Streamlined linkage. Turn to Invisible Stalker. This is not...
Wow, this is
a very quick start. Again.
Well, at least if Maxx wins, then it slows down the speed of the entire match. So I can reach like I can seek a little solace in that. Next round I'm gonna put Michael Taylor under there because I think he's gonna time both rounds. I'm just gonna find whoever just walk out there. Which one of you has the slowest deck? That's another thing you can do too, as we see. What's it called? Is it Ethereal Armor? Come down on the Silverblade Pal. Gosh, I'm falling apart. It's only round 3. Goodness sakes.
Invisible Stalker.
Invisible Stalker. If you do want to help, as we see, oh my, turn 4 Desecration Demon. That's a card that's not seeing a whole lot of constructed play. So he's activating that land to prevent 1 damage and only take 2, right? Seems fine. Desecration Demon I thought would see a lot more play in Standard, and no one's playing it. I guess that's because, like, the drawback is actually it's quite a drawback. I mean, they can fog you, basically, but I don't know. A 6/6 flyer for 4 seems pretty good. Abyssal Persecutor is a heck of a magic card.
I was better to say, as much Abyssal Persecutor as I played when it was in Standard, and I already have a modern deck built for it. It's not very good, but it's still fun. It's a card I enjoy, and I hope to find a way to play a little bit more Desecration Demon as it goes along.
Yeah, I think it's like they can fog you, but they have to sacrifice a real card to do it.
I think she drops to 8 there, doesn't she, off the, that's an Overgrown Tomb at the top, right?
Yeah, that is an Overgrown Tomb, so,
What is that enchantment that he plays up there? Oh, he can tap a creature to tap a creature, right? What is that thing, do you know? This is the problem with these unique decks, is that they play cards that we have no idea what they are.
Sphere of Safety. Sphere of Safety requires...
You have to pay X mana to attack.
Yeah, and X is equal to the number of enchantments you control.
I'm pretty sure she missed Overgrown Tomb there. But again, I'm not in the business of going out there.
She has her life at 10.
Yeah, but her life was at 10 when she played the untapped Overgrown Tomb. So now she has to pay...
double the number of enchantments she has in play. I don't believe that she will be allowed to attack.
Megan is up on game here. It's very difficult to do all of this and keep track of the life and try to talk and pretend like I know what I'm doing. It's a hot mess.
Megan, of course, turning her cards upside down is a strange strategy. We'll see how it plays off here.
That is a very interesting story. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. I don't know who it was. I believe it was a Japanese player. But many moons ago at like a Grand Prix or Pro Tour, one player was basically dead on board. And so he picked up his deck and just started shuffling it and then presented it to his opponent who cut it. And then he called a judge and tried to get the player to get a game loss because of like basically an improper cut or like cutting at the wrong time. I just thought, what kind of people are there in the world? They're just like, I gotta go for this. This is the only way I can win this game is by just doing that. It's not even like a particularly like, I don't know. I'm sure there are some ways that you could cheat or otherwise shoot angles or game the system that would be like pretty cool, like still like a little bit sketchy in terms of ethics, but it'd be interesting at least. That just seems dumb. It just seems like, just lose. Just lose like a man, right? Like a boss. Yep, so for those of you just joining us, this is round 3 of our standard Friday Night Magic tournament here, Lost Legion Games. We are, like I said, round 3, 2-0 players. Both have split the first 2 games. I guess that's not actually the correct way to say that. They have split the first 2 games. Going into game 3, Megan will be playing first with her Golgari Midrange deck against Max's green-white, I think it is.
Blue-white.
Blue-white.
I don't think he has another color in there. I think it's
just Azorius. All Azorius all the time. So we appreciate those of you who are watching us. Feel free to tweet, retweet, spread the word around. I'm genuinely baffled why the numbers for the stream fluctuate so greatly week to week. I don't know why one week it's hundreds of people and the next week it's 30. But ultimately, I care not. As long as if you are entertained, this is something to fill time on your Friday nights, then I'm glad we can do it.
I mean, there is still parts of the East Coast that don't have power.
That is true.
We'll chalk it up to that.
Yes, that's it. That's what I'm going to say. Hurricane Sandy ruined my web stream.
Yeah.
Everybody mulligans.
So they're both dropping down to 6. It's happening. I can feel it amongst not only just myself, but I'm reading body language here. It's the curse of the third round. Once the third round hits, that 9 o'clock rolls around, everybody gets sleepy.
It gets to be bedtime.
Because we're basically the age of most people's pets, right? So you've been up at you are a school teacher. What time do you have to be at the school?
I have to be at work at 7:15.
So that's like a 6 o'clock day right there, right? Just wake up in the morning, or you wake up at 7:10. It's just bust ass over there. I mean, still early morning. I myself was up at 6:30 as well. It is and seek solace in this. You got another 3 hours to go. 3 hours of sitting in this room, wishing you were anywhere else talking about Magic cards.
I believe that I am ready for a second wind.
I now like to use my second wind.
I was just thinking, watching these players mulligan, that when I play Magic, I actually prefer to mulligan as opposed to keep my hand, because the minute I keep my hand, I begin wishing, oh, I could have mulliganed it.
That is one thing, and not like we're trying to give. One thing I'm not trying to do on the stream is to give like any kind of advice, because Lord knows I'm not good at this game. But that is one thing that very much irritates me, and new players just cannot fathom, which is you just because your hand has lands and spells in it doesn't mean you should keep it. And if you keep a land with one hand and you never draw a second one, like that's your fault. Part of it is. More importantly, back to the game. Turn 2, Lotleth Troll. Turn 3, Deathrite Shaman. Deathrite Shaman getting quite the buzz from Pro Tour Seattle.
Oh, I opened that at the pre-release and had it in my deck, and it was was amazing.
I'm gonna tell you right now, any card that has 3 modes, you gotta swing pretty hard for not one of those modes to be good. Deathrite Shaman's all 3 modes are very good.
Yeah.
The land mana ability, not necessarily very good in Standard, simply because there's not sack lands and fetch lands. But gaining life and doing damage, and more importantly, incidentally screwing with graveyard-based strategies, very, very powerful.
Yes.
Oh, did she Abrupt Decay that enchantment?
Yeah.
I should probably pay attention to the game. Supreme Verdict? What a jerk. Could she regenerate on the troll, cost 1 green and 1 black?
It costs 1 black.
Oh, did she not have it?
She only had 2 forests untapped.
This is Desecration. Nope. Deadbridge Goliath. Okay, so that's another card. Like, I know it's not seeing a lot of play, but that's a very good card. Like, it's a 5/5 that scavenges in the ramp. I mean, you can play a turn 3 5/5. Like, I don't know. I think it's fine. I think it's funny
tough because it is just a 5. It's just like a vanilla guy, but
right.
It's a big guy.
But what's interesting sometimes is you see the scavenge ability on a Dreg Mangler rather. It comes into play a lot, and every time it happens, every time I see it on camera, I always forgot that it was something you could do in Magic. I just always forget that you can scavenge that card. Scavenge is as we see a Desecration Demon come down, so she's all 4 drops all the time. All of them very high impact. Scavenge is one of those mechanics, like my favorite mechanic like this was Retrace, which is it's the exact kind of mechanic you want because it makes your cards good at the beginning of the game and at the end of the game. Scavenge makes your 2-drop good, but then it also gives it some playability later in the game as well.
Which
another verdict?
Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
It's just mean at this point.
What about Vraska? Is that pretty good? she's going to up it, right?
Yeah, I would imagine.
What is Vraska's ultimate? I'll just go ahead and pull it up. I think
it's the 3 assassin tokens.
I meant the. How many do you have to activate?
I want to say it's like 8.
8? She starts on 4, right?
I think it's 7.
She starts on 5, and it's -7, so...
It can happen pretty quickly.
What happened? Did he bounce it, or what?
Oblivion Ring.
What happened
He's
there?
Oblivion Ringing them, and I think she had a second one.
Oh. I completely ignored the one at the bottom there. If she plays a third one, it's going to be the greatest thing. It's going to be the highlight of the week, even if she doesn't win. Every Vraska. Oh, please. Oh,
no.
Pump fake. Borderland Ranger. Not nearly as exciting.
Yes, that is factual. Borderland Ranger is not as exciting as Vraska.
I'm very upset.
But necessary. Borderland Ranger is necessary.
Oh, Max. It would not be a Max Turner feature match unless he played one Planeswalker. Have you gone back? I know you haven't been watching a lot because you're a busy man, but have you watched any of the tournaments in which Max has been playing his Super Friends decks or his 4-color control?
Oh, no, I haven't seen him play those.
At one point he had Garrick? No, at one point he had Tameo, Jace, Sorin, and Liliana on the board at the same time. But Liliana wasn't even his, he had stolen it. using Sorin's ultimate. And one of the most... yes!
Third of Vraska. Does it make highlight of the week because she missed a turn?
I don't know. It's still drawn live for highlight of the week consideration. The power of the Vindicate, even if it costs 5, Vindicate is still a good.
Yeah.
So this has turned into a very interesting match here. I mean, she doesn't have a ton of offense on the board, but she's got a lot. She's got a very well-developed board state. So Max cycles another one of his...
How many cards does Max have in hand?
Looks like 2. Nope, 3. I don't know what they are. They better be good. But at this point, like, I can just start picking away, eating cards from graveyards, right? Okay, so that's a Corpsejack Menace. That's not nearly as much. That's not nearly as. I'm not as excited about that one as I am some of the other 4-drops in her deck. So she's going to eat Supreme Verdict from Max's graveyard. That's something that I think people don't realize is that you can use the Shaman to target either graveyard. So obviously you want to eat their good stuff, but you can also eat your stuff. West Virginia State Champion Hunter Sumter, playing Golgari Zombies, he used 4 main board Deathrite Shamans in his deck to great success by playing a lot of removal and then turning that removal in his graveyard into damage. JB just said 20 minutes remaining in the round. Look how good my clock is. Like a boss.
It's very close.
Thanks. I knew we brought you in. I mean, we had to go get a ringer, but I knew it's worth what we're paying you to bring you up here for that. 19 is actually very close to 20, mathematically.
Mm-hmm. It was.
Revenge of the Hunted is not an enchantment, right?
It's... I forget how that card works. I believe it's a sorcery.
That is Revenge of the Hunted, right? So she's going to eat another one. Dropping Max to 10. And then she's going to pile in with every dude. Oh. Blowout. Not really, but I mean it's a good fog, right? Because she's already committed to the mana, so fogs him, and then Vraska ticks up. Vraska Ultimate would be very fun to see. Max is holding a Cyclonic Rift in his hand, and he is going to overload it here, I think. Might as well, right?
Yeah, that is an instant, so he can't wait.
Sure. Oh, that's a good point, yeah. He's going to trade all of his dudes with Vraska. Man, that Rift is going to be... I love it. As you can see, you can confirm when we come back from break, I've acquired tonight Foil Cyclonic Rift for my cube.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Ian, you're going to love it because you and I are the only people who ever use that thing. So here we go into the mill plan, as you said earlier from talking with Max. This is his plan B, right? Mm-hmm. So,
and she's not the typical Golgari deck, against them, milling, you don't want to dump a bunch of grave crawlers into their graveyard, but...
She can scavenge back her Dreg Mangler here. I wonder if she's... Oh, wait, did she play Dreg Mangler? That might have been last game. Or am I making this up? Has she even played a Dreg Mangler?
She has played a Dreg Mangler. I believe that was her first creature this game.
It looks like she's thinking about the Deatbridge, actually.
Oh, yeah.
The Cyclonic Rift would be awesome if she did that.
Oh, and that was very interesting right there. She's eating the increasing confusion with the Shaman to neg the flashback on that.
Yeah.
That's very useful.
Are you familiar with Travis Wu's Epic Experiment build? He's been testing that. The article on Channel Fireball has been testing it on Twitch a lot. He had, I think couple days ago he had about 900 people watching him. He kills with increasing confusion. Seems fun.
Oh yeah, Epic Experiment is just one of those cards that everyone's going to, every time a new set comes out, as long as it's in standard.
I'll tell you this right now, there is an Epic Experiment in the field tonight.
Oh.
Former commentator and shop regular Jordan Peckio is playing an Epic Experiment deck. He was 1-1 going into this one. He did make top 8 of game day with it. It is not. It's just every burn spell in the format. That's how he wins the game. He's casting Epic Experiment for 7 and then just burning you out. So Lotleth Troll comes down. Is he going to EOT the Rift here, or just do it right now?
I'm going to do it when she attacks.
Yeah, right now.
Oh, she's going to be very upset when she reads it. Well, if nothing more, we saw 3 Vraskas being played.
Yeah.
I mean, Maxx isn't out of the woods here. He has 1 card in his hand, and it's that Ethereal Armor, which is basically useless at this point. So while he has stabilized, he's going to have to come up with some kind of offense or defense quickly.
She can't just dump her entire hand on the table again.
Yeah, the chat is mentioning how the deck is very different. What happened?
She played a Dreg Mangler and then scavenged one out of her graveyard.
Or was it a Corpsejack Menace? Oh no, it was
just Mangler's on the table.
Yeah.
So did he just scoop to that?
Yeah.
I mean, because he wasn't dead that turn.
Well,
because the Dreg Mangler is a 3/3, and the Scavenge in with a 2/2, right? No, it becomes a 6/6, right?
It would become a 6/6 haste. Mm-hmm. So I mean,
that scoop seems weird.
Or did she?
If it was the Deathbridge.
Well, there's a request in the chat to. Yeah, I think it was just a preemptive scoop because he didn't think he'd come back. There's a request in the chat to talk to one of these competitors. We might talk to Maxx and both get clarification on that, and also talk about this deck of his. Maxx has played some very interesting decks in the past few weeks. I like myself a Cyclonic Rift. I will admit to something right now that I have not done in a long time. I have this week been fooling around on Cockatrice a little bit, brewing my own standard deck.
Oh.
My motivation in this was very simple. Why does every 5-color deck have to be a 5-color control deck? Why can't it just be 5-color like Midrange or like just good stuff deck? And then started building it, and then I realized, oh, this is turning into a 5-color control deck because all the best cards are control cards. But it's basically just a Jund deck that also plays blue Planeswalkers and Detention Spheres. I don't know if it's good or not. All the cards are good, so sometimes you just win because you have really good Magic cards. Let's see can we get...
you want to get...
See if we can swap people out here and get Maxx. Also, when you step out there, could you grab the iPod so I can plug that back in? So we will... We will bring Maxx in here and discuss with him what the
I'm gonna step out and make room for Maxx.
Sure.
And make a phone call. So.
Sure, go do that.
Which player do you want in here?
The reason you've been... Megan, you can come in too. They wanted to talk to both of you.
How do we do?
I did fine.
Good for you?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, I need to take that up.
Mm-hmm. You want me to run it in?
Yeah, you can slip up. Okay, so I'll... So there was a specific request in the chat to talk to these players because of their interesting decks. First, I wanted to talk to you. Okay, can we get some clarification? Did you just concede because you weren't dead on board? You just decided that nothing...
Just now?
Yeah.
I didn't update the thing. I was at 1.
Oh, so there's your clarification,
yeah.
Is that you were dead. You were dead to the Dreg Mangler, period. You didn't even need to scavenge. Because we were discussing whether it's a Corpsejack Menace or something like that. But the truth is that Maxx was not keeping track of life total. So minus 10 points to you.
Well, you got really serious there, so I wasn't paying attention anymore, except for trying to survive.
It was very exciting. So we have potential highlight of the week material. We were hoping It didn't happen exactly, but we were hoping you were going to play 3 Vraskas in 3 separate turns.
I could have.
You tapped. I don't know if you noticed, but you tapped 5 mana.
I was gonna bring her out again.
No, wait, you had it in your hand?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I would have lost my mind.
I was not happy about the fact that I had 3 Vraskas. Like I had 2 on my opening hand.
So I will. I'm going to fix this real quick so people know who we're talking to here. But these are our previous round competitors: Max Turner.
I'm Ian.
And Meckenberger.
I want to be Ian Nolte.
Your better half is watching you on the screen.
Aw. She's my better half, too.
What am I trying to remove? Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. All right,
Yeah,
but
I'm
anyway,
still not Ian Nolte.
no, you have your name. It's the wrong switch. All right, whatever. There we go.
All right.
It's a one-man show here. I got to pick the matches. I got to commentate the matches. I got to update all our social media. I got to do all the production. That's why they pay me the big bucks.
You're a very busy man.
Did I tell you this, Max? You've been part of the stream since day one. Did I tell you this? We had our first donation made to the...
No.
Yeah.
That's
A gentleman in Norway named Christian has donated $10 to us.
That's very considerate.
It's very fun.
a lot of ramen.
It's very fun.
So he gets his name plugged 24/7 now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of people watching tonight. I don't really know what's going on.
Well, if Brian knew I was featured, I'm sure he'd be watching. He's got 2 kids right now, so...
That's the problem.
Yeah.
You can only you're only as free as your...
You're being told to get back on track.
Okay, yes, okay, so they wanted to talk about your deck. So Max, you were playing a green-white, or Azorius, blue-white, enchantment-based deck. It's Ethereal Armor, that's the card that pumps. So basically, plan A, I should say, is get Invisible Stalker out, put multiple copies of Ethereal Armor on it, play other enchantments, buff, ride to victory. There's no card in your deck that could have dealt with Invisible Stalker.
No.
Okay,
no.
so that's why when you played it on turn
overwhelmed.
2, and we've been lamenting all night that all of our matches have finished very quickly, and then people just, as soon as, here's one thing that I've been talking about multiple times, you need to know about the general Magic player or Magic stream viewers' attention span, is that when nobody's playing Magic anymore, they're gone. They're going to the next one. So when you played the turn 2 Stalker, and I knew in your colors usually you don't have anything to deal with that. Bonfire deals with it, maybe a Tribute to Hunger, but most people aren't playing that.
I think she Abrupt Decayed one of my Ethereal Armors.
Yeah, you can turn it into like a really bad like Prodigal Pyromancer, but it's still like that. So that's your plan A. Your plan B, did I see you going to Milltown there at the end?
There a little bit.
Okay, so what's the...
He just fed my graveyard, though. I actually used that mill to my benefit, and, I mean, he wiped it, but, you know...
There's 4 Chronic Floodings, 1 Increasing Confusion, and 1 Psychic Spiral.
I mean,
very desperate
who's
plan.
making
And
me pay?
we were talking to Ian, who had the inside track on your deck, and he said that you made it prior to the event while you were eating McDonald's.
Yep.
So that's when usually
Heartwarming
that's
story.
when you got the juices flowing as far as the brain is.
Yep.
I mean, you're ready to. That's when you're at your peak of your performance
Little
and deck
known
building.
Oh,
Yeah.
somebody wants to
What
know if you
happened?
run Geist or other creatures.
No,
I'm going to assume you don't run Geist because that's too good a Magic card
Correct.
to put in that deck. The only things that cost less than a quarter in that deck.
There's Invisible Stalker and the 2/2 Knights that come out of Security Blocker.
But you were 2-0. You were 2-0. It's one of those decks that none of the cards in and of themselves are very strong, but it has a lot of synergy. Plus, you are playing Supreme Verdict. Supreme Verdict's perfect answer. You're not really flooding the board. You can come back with 1 creature, and then you're playing Cyclonic Rift, which is very much my favorite.
It's a
As I
fantastic card.
I explained earlier, that's a shiny one.
Where'd you get a shiny one?
Scott,
Can I have it?
Scott, you can't have it.
Oh my god.
And you also didn't win the Rock Paper Scissors, unfortunately.
I did not.
You know who did win Rock Paper Scissors?
Who?
Jay Boosh. I'm not even lying.
I really
I
want
used
the
to
rock,
Send him
paper,
a
scissors.
XOXO note from me.
Okay.
I really wanted it.
Well, someday. Someday.
It's not someday, it's never now.
Never now.
But it's literally just the 4 Invisible Stalkers. It's pretty...
Okay, so, and then Cyclonic Rift is obviously a very, very strong card. You can blow people out a lot. You can just combat tricks. There's, one thing that I'm
We got a question here. What did they sideboard? I did not sideboard anything in. I have not sideboarded all night. I am the anti-sideboarder.
That's just a personal preference.
It is a personal preference. I hate, after my matches, having to go through and remove things.
So it's just
It's laziness.
It's just a logistical
It
nightmare.
is pure laziness.
Okay.
I took out Chronic Flooding for 3 cycles.
What does Chronic Flooding do?
Oh, you did say.
1 in a blue enchantment, chance of land, whenever the land's tapped, they mill 3.
We were talking about that before. There's not a cycle of land necessarily, but there are several of those lands that do something or the other. Underworld Dreams is the one everybody's familiar with, but we saw the white one from you, and also the blue one was apparently in there. But I mean, Rift is very good against her because she puts counters on her creatures and whatnot too.
I definitely did not side into mill.
Somebody's surprised at my non-sideboarding.
Well, rest in peace and Grafdigger's Cages are good cards.
But this is one thing.
This is not a good card.
This is one thing I want to stress is that last week they ribbed us hard because we had some less than competitive decks because when the round finishes early, I just go to whoever's available to try to jam more action on there. And we saw a couple, kitchen table decks, and I try to explain to people that this is not the finals of a pro tour. I mean, this is just FNM. We're just having fun.
I came to see if I could stick a bunch of Spear Safeties.
Right, but I did point out that you also won the Star City Games Invitational qualifier with a very good deck a few weeks ago. So this is just you're just a tourist this week. You're just seeing what you can get done.
He actually helped me at the Star City qualifier. He helped me with my sideboard and stuff. I went completely unprepared, and I did sideboard there.
Were you playing the same deck?
No. I was playing Black-Red Vampires, and since we got Ravnica in, it has not competed well, so it got torn apart.
Okay.
Brian has made all of the decks I've played.
Are you giving away that guy Judo tonight?
No, again, we are in a storage room. We call it the broom closet. Our faithful viewers, none of which are here, there's one particular viewer who always gives us a lot of grief for being in the broom closet. In his opinion, or her, in that particular individual's opinion, that we are in here because we are the worst Magic players, so we've been stuck back in here to do commentary for the broom closet.
I want to commentate next week.
Okay.
My husband wants it to be known that there were sideboards, or charms in the sideboard for enchantments, and that is true.
Yeah, we talked about earlier that I think that's one card that you could interact with. The Golgari Charm, neg 1 function could kill the Invisible Stalker before you got out of control. But not for you. You were not having it. No sideboarding to be had.
No sideboarding.
Sometimes you just want to go.
Girls just want to have fun.
Just play the 60. You don't need the 75.
I won 2 matches without my sideboard.
You're 3-0, aren't you?
I'm 3-0.
You're 3-0 with no sideboarding. So
no sideboarding.
But you know what? But here's the thing too. We talked about your deck, so let's talk about your deck a little bit. I told people it's basically just a Golgari kind of like good stuff deck. There's not necessarily a theme or archetype you're going for. You just have all the cards are individually good. You just have Deathrite Shaman, very good. We just saw from the Modern Pro Tour how good that is. We saw Vraska, you played 3 of them. Vindicate is a very good function in a Magic card. And then you have all the aggressive creatures. You have the Deadbridge Goliath, you have the Desecration Demon, which we don't see a lot in Standard. We were kind of talking about that, why we don't see that much. But, all your cards are good. You just play good dudes.
The first time I encountered Desecration Demon, somebody was playing him in a blue-black control deck, and it is excellent for control. I mean, it keeps down their creatures and, gets +1/+1s, or, you just have a 4-cost 6/6 to wreck the board with.
Yeah, it's like Abyssal Persecutors from Zendikar as a card is most mimics. It's a 6/6 flyer for 4. That in and of itself, regardless of drawback, is pretty good.
Do you interact with Corpsejack Menace a lot? I can see your bread and butter.
I interact. I don't know.
How many counters do you put on stuff? That's my question.
It depends on the game.
Because that was my least. I'll mention when you watch this back. That was my least favorite card in your deck. Is the Corpsejack Menace. Everything else I like. That one seemed a little bit undervalued. I mean, when you're popping out 5/5s that you can scavenge and 6/6s that fly. But she has 5/5s for 4 and 6/6s for 4.
Well, it's mostly like a big bad deck. It's not so much like if I can get big creatures out for cheap, I'm gonna do it. But if I can't, I still want big creatures out. The scavenged, I really try to only scavenge when I have to. Otherwise, I want people to forget that that's even in my graveyard because, with his, I mean, he could have had some, like Rest in Peace or something. Yeah, I mean, he could have wrecked. Is Rest in Peace the one that deals with your graveyard?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, he could have gotten rid of my graveyard. So I just want people not to think about it. And then, if I can end the game,
I was talking about how every time I see someone scavenge something, I forget that scavenge was a thing you could do in Magic. Yeah. I just always forget.
It's super useful.
Because usually the scavenge cost is it's pretty high. Like scavenge on Dreg Mangler's 5, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Usually you're doing something else until very late in the game, but then someone will always scavenge onto it and do something. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. More importantly, did you see our Scarlett Johansson there?
I did. Is she bringing a lot of viewers in?
I can't really see. There's being some.
You want to pull her over?
There's been
Max?
some
You can
illusion.
put her in front of you.
There's been some.
You would be like viewer favorite. Okay, you're gonna have to sit her down a little
There's
bit.
being some illusions that's very similar to the Elf Boo poster.
Here, hang on. We've only got chest. Never mind. That's all they want to see. Okay.
So,
Scarlett, I really enjoyed
congratulations
playing
on
against
that.
you.
Mhm.
I'm kind of iffy on the fact that you have some gray hair showing there. You're rubbing one boob in her arm.
It was a failed attempt.
What was that movie? I was trying to make a funny. I was trying to make a funny Scarlett Johansson joke. I can't remember what the name of the movie was, but I'm off. Don't worry, just leave it there. We'll sort it
The
out.
one with Bill Murray?
No, it was the one that was like a Zack Snyder movie.
I don't know.
I don't remember. If anyone in the chat remembers that Zack Snyder movie.
Hang on. I'm trying to read what...
Don't get lost in the chat. That's a rookie mistake. You gotta focus. You gotta focus on the camera.
I think this is yours. And somebody asked where the shop was. The shop is in South Charleston, West Virginia.
Yep. In fact, your husband.
My husband helped. Okay. All right.
He's topping us off there.
The deck is very defensive.
Yeah, someone's asking about if Max's deck is more aggro or if it's more defensive. It's mostly defensive. The turn 2 Stalker into beatdown playing is just kind of a dream that you can live occasionally. But you're not going to be able to race too often with too many decks. So, but anyway, we are getting close to the end of our round. Would you, lady and gentlemen, like to help me give away a Magic card?
Absolutely.
Ooh,
Round
what do I get
3.
to give away?
Do either of you have a D20 on you?
I've got one in my bag.
If you've been watching for the last couple of weeks, you know that we are now getting prize support. The fine folks here at Lost Legion have been donating some prize support for our giveaways. So we are giving away round 3 Restoration Angel. This is the second we gave
20-sided
away.
dice, yeah.
So we have exactly 20 runners for this event. So more importantly, before we give it away, how can people win? We're giving away another one this week. So here's what's going to happen.
Ooh, can I guess?
Max, how can someone win this promo Restoration Angel?
You go tweet and retweet?
No, that one's Facebook.
Wrong.
This is Facebook.
Megan, chance to steal.
Oh, you go to Facebook and you like a post and comment on a post, and you also need to like Zach Sells Magic, just because.
Right, so you go to
So do I get these points now?
facebook.com.
I get the points? I beat Max again.
Yeah, so more, just to clarify there, you go to facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic. That is our stream page. And then it's twofold. You need to like the page. And then right after we go off the air here to take a break before the next round, I'll make a post on Facebook that says something effective. We're giving a Restoration Angel away. You either comment on that post or like it. Just some way of acknowledging that you saw that post. So you like the page, you like or comment on the post, you're entered in the drawing for next week. You might win $13 to $15 of retail. It's not inconsequential. We give away these rock, paper, scissors cards on Twitter every week.
I really wanted the rock, paper, scissors.
They're not worth that much.
They're collectible, though.
Restoration Angel, you can just turn it for profit. So if you just want to make a quick $7 or $8 on a buy list, we can help you out with that.
I already have a foil Restoration Angel. I want the rock, paper, scissors.
Well, we can arrange it.
Give those to
if you win, your name is on here. If you win,
my name's on there.
Yeah.
He's not counting my name right now.
There.
He's not counting my name because I'm here.
No,
I can't
so
watch the stream.
If you
That's
win,
why I can't win it.
If you win, I did when I drew G. Bush's name just to prove that it wasn't rigged. I did show it. It was the 6th one down. So we have exactly 20 runners from last week. So if one of you wants to roll that die, and we will award this to someone.
All right.
Number 4. Jeremy Bales, another local here at the shop. I believe his name is the Shark Master on Twitter.
Ooh, is it? I know he's the Shark.
Or the Shark,
I like his...
maybe the Shark Meister, but
Do you know
congratulations
my Twitter name?
Your Twitter name is, I do know it. Tell me. It's something
Fortuitous Feline.
Fortuitous Feline.
Yeah,
but
it's
you
supposed
ran
to
out
have
of E.
I ran out of space.
So, if you want to win your own, congratulations to Jeremy. If you want to win your own, like I said, we're going to take a brief break here. They're getting ready for the next round. I'm going to make the Facebook post. Go in there, like the page, like and comment on the post. Share the post. That'd be a huge help to us. Like I said, we don't ask for much here. I know not a lot of you are watching, but for those of you who have watched in the past, like the
Zach
best
needs
way,
donations.
the best
Zach
way
needs
to
ramen.
the best way to support the stream is to go to Facebook and interact with our page there. Share it amongst your friends. It helps us to get a wider audience. So that will help us out. And for your time and effort, we will give you magic cards. So that being said, thank you, Max. Thank you, Megan, for sitting in. We're going into round 4. Best of luck to you. And then
scrap it out.
for the rest of you out there, we will be back shortly with round 4.
Sorry, Cliff. I didn't know your number or I would have gotten it.
It's not rigged.
It's rigged.
It's not rigged.
I rigged it myself.